Hey my friends, this is Daniel Alley, and today I want to talk with you about 7 deadly sins of wealth. If you understand how detrimental it is to do these 7 activities, you're never going to do it again, and you will prosper in the end. So please listen up. The first deadly sin of money is lying. When you lie to other people, you're lying to yourself. You're disconnecting the truth that could be conveyed to people who actually need it. Now, I understand that telling a white lie can help, right? Sometimes you have to do that if you need to protect certain people. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about purposely trying to betray another member of the human race just for your own gain. If you're trying to do something that actually hurts people through the art of deceitfulness, then you will always lose money in the end. Now, you might make it temporarily, but you won't make it long term. You might get the short-term gains, but you will lose the long-term connections. And if you want to create a lifestyle based on lying, then you are eventually going to feel the paranoia that is to come. You see, when you lie to others, you lie to yourself. When you cheat others, you cheat yourself. When you betray others, you betray yourself. But more importantly, you're doing these things to God. When you commit evil acts onto another person, you're actually doing it to God. And if you want to continue to live this way, then you'll always be poor. But if you want to be righteous, if you want to live in honor, if you want to do the right thing, then you, my friend, will be rich. The second deadly sin of wealth is foul language. Now, this could mean profanity, it could mean dirty jokes, it could mean telling evil stories and conveying negative ideas and scenarios to people who never would have even imagined it. That's a problem. See, this is what a lot of people do. I hear so many stories of people telling me about all the things that happened in the war, or how their 7 divorces didn't work out. And what they're doing is that they're trying to spread that negativity. They have so much toxicity built within themselves that the next thing that they're gonna do is to try to spread it onto you. So what I do is I deflect that. I protect myself because I know that it's not worth listening to. If someone is carrying on with evil language, profanity, or foul stories, I'm done with them. And if I'm gonna deflect the negativity, imagine what other people will do if you try to carry that negativity and bestow it upon them. If you have inner bitterness, the world will know. You cannot hide it. You could fake a few people out, but if you're really toxic inside, truly evil, you will not be vindicated. God will show your true face to these people, and they will know it, and it will affect your prosperity. But if you decide to come clean, then you will be exonerated. You will be free from any kind of blame, any kind of guilt, any kind of trap, because you're not using foul language to convey your ideas to people who actually need them. You're not talking about lustful experiences. You're not coming up with dirty jokes. You're not using vulgarity to get your message across. And people will trust you. They'll say, you know what, this person's pretty clean. I like them. I want to work with them. I want to deal with someone that's easy to be around. And if you're that kind of person, then you will surely increase in profitability. The third deadly sin of wealth is stealing. Now I know it sounds pretty obvious because like I said before, if you steal something from someone else, you steal it from yourself. But what I'm actually talking about here is not quite that. Here's the bottom line. You cannot get without giving, and you cannot give without getting. And everything has to be a mutual exchange unless you decide to give more. You will get exactly what you put out. And if you give to a certain level, you will get that in return. You see, if you want to be rich, you're going to do the opposite. Instead of stealing, you're going to give more to others than others are able to give to you. And instead of being at the same level that you are right now, you'll reach a higher level because you're doing the opposite of stealing. Instead of taking away, you're actually giving. You're multiplying. You're showing people that you have more to offer. And so they're going to trust you. And they're going to try to find a way to give back to you. That's the law of reciprocity. You see, if you give more to others than they can give to you, you're going to get rich. But if you take far more than you give, you'll end up dejected. You'll end up discouraged. You'll end up feeling like death because that's not how God created us to be. So don't steal. Instead, do the opposite and give as much as you can and you will surely be prospered in return. The fourth deadly sin of all wealth is cheating. Now, we talked about lying. We talked about stealing. But did we talk about cheating? Because there's all types of cheating. I can go into it all. But the cheating I'm talking about is withholding the good that you owe to mankind. We could talk about cheating on taxes. We could talk about cheating on the bill and ringing them up for a higher price than they should have paid. We understand that kind of cheating. But the cheating that I'm talking about is what you owe to other people. You see, if you're withholding your talent, your skill, your ability, your understanding of the world, your perspective, and everything else that you have to offer, then that is the highest form of cheating. You are betraying your fellow human beings by not giving them the best version of yourself. As you can see, by omitting the things that you could be giving is one of the greatest sins of all mankind. This is what most people do. They work their jobs, they barely get by, and then they wonder why they're stuck in poverty. It's because they're cheating God out of everything that they owe him. They know they're supposed to do bigger. They know they're supposed to do better. They know they're supposed to get to the place that he wants them to be, but they're not willing to submit. They're not willing to give. They're not willing to commit. And so by cheating God, they're actually cheating themselves. And when you cheat yourself, you beat yourself. You stop yourself from receiving all the good that could have been coming your way. And so that's why I believe that cheating is one of the greatest sins when it comes to collecting wealth. Now, the fifth sin of wealth is lust. You see, lust can be talked about very extensively. I've studied this topic for thousands of hours. And what I can tell you is that whenever you lust after something or someone, you're using your highest form of imagination that can easily be transmuted into something greater. For example, you see a man, you see a woman, and you think, I want to do X, Y, and Z with this person. What you're really doing is that you're taking away the time and the energy that you could have been expending on something much greater than that endeavor. In essence, what you're doing is you're forfeiting your highest thoughts for your lowest thoughts. You're exchanging your spiritual ideas for animalistic ideas. You're giving up a greater purpose for a selfish purpose. And this is why most people lose. You see, they're lusting after certain people. They're forfeiting their life for the things that they think that are real by giving up the things that God knows is ideal. And this is the problem that we see in society. Lust is all over the place. And we can always gravitate to something that looks better, but will that actually help us in the end? Will we actually grow from putting our mind into something that isn't even for us? Absolutely not. We can't lust over a man, over a woman, over a car, a house, a purse, anything. We can't afford to forsake the time that God has given us to think about the little things that we think we want. But if we put our love and trust in God by putting him first, then he will give us all things. That's what the Bible says. Then all things will be given unto you. Not some things, not most things, all things. And you will have unlimited power because you're doing what 99% of the people in this world are afraid to do. You're submitting to God. And when you submit to God, he will submit his ways unto you, and you will obtain every single thing that you were meant to have. The sixth deadly sin of wealth is complaining. You see, the opposite of complaining is praising. And most people spend hours every single week complaining about things that they can't even change. But imagine if you did the opposite. Imagine if you spend hours praising God for all the things that are working out. Now, I know that sounds unreasonable because who has the time to give God praise for multiple hours a day? Well, the way I'm thinking is, how do you have time to complain for multiple hours a day? How do you have time to bicker about your neighbors, to complain about your workplace, to worry about the bills? Look, you can't afford to relate negative ideas onto other people. People don't want to hear that from you. Your complaining is not going to benefit anyone. Whenever you complain, criticize, or condemn anything, nobody wins. Now, I know I talked about the power of condemnation before, In other words, if you don't like something and you know you're not meant to have it, you can condemn it. Like Jesus, he cursed the fig tree because it wasn't producing. I'm not talking about that. And if you understand what I mean, the complaining I'm talking about is complaining about the things that you actually have control over. You see, if you're complaining about things that you can actually do and you're not doing it, then that's your fault. You can't blame anything or anyone else. You have to blame yourself. So stop complaining and start retraining your mind to believe in the higher ideas that you know you were meant to pursue. And the seventh and final deadly sin of wealth is idling. There's a lot of people who end up wasting their most precious moments of the day by just dwindling it all away. They play video games, they watch porn, they chit chat with nobodies, they have nothing to talk about, they're viewing social media, they're just standing around trying to pass time. But what they don't know is that is the biggest crime. Now let me make something clear. There's a lot of reasons why people idle their time away. Maybe they feel like they have a little inner conflict that they haven't yet resolved. Maybe they're lazy, they're fat, they're lethargic, they're not ready to work because their mind and their body is not cooperating into where they need to go. Or maybe they're just afraid. They're afraid of success, they're afraid of criticism, they're afraid of rejection, they're afraid to be lonely, they're afraid of poverty. There's a lot of reasons why people hold themselves back, and there's definitely a lot more reasons why they idle their time away. So if you know that you've been stuck, you've been lazy, you've been discouraged, you're ready to change, you're ready for a breakthrough, then write me an email at info@danielalley.com because I know I can help you. So there you go, my friends. I just shared with you 7 deadly sins of money. Can you think of any more? If so, leave a comment in a section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that notification button, and share this video with someone else who really needs it. Again, this is Daniel Alley. I look forward to your success, I look forward to your prosperity, I look forward to all that you do for the rest of humanity. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.